So the average American spends about anywhere from $10 to $20 going out to eat, especially for lunch, instead of packing a meal at home or meal prepping. And I wanted to debunk that theory that apparently there's people out there who think that eating out is cheaper than buying groceries. And I'm not showing any hate towards that group of people because I was the same way, and I very much was addicted to fast food as well. And I used to eat out all the time for lunch. And I was when I first moved to Texas, I was getting $400 paychecks, and a lot of it was going towards eating out for my lunches. So actually, I saw a clip from Jubilee with Brian Johnson, and that clip kind of inspired me to make this video. There's a couple things that were on there that were said, and I'll probably just go ahead and post them right here and show y'all. On Monday of last week, my wife and I, we made our meal preps. We didn't do it on Sunday because we had just got done. We just had got back from a camping trip, and on Monday we meal prepped for that week. So I needed 4 meals for the week, and my wife got like 2. Usually she only wants 1, so there's an extra one in there in case I wanted one for dinner. And we made kind of a butter chicken. It didn't really taste like butter chicken, but it was good. It was very good. A chicken curry with rice. And that was a little bit more expensive for meal prep, and it still averaged out to, I think it was $6.67 per meal. So about, let's just round up to $7 per meal, which is much cheaper than you would get from any other fast food. I think a Big Mac these days are $8 or something for just the burger. We made all that in about an hour and a half worth of labor, maybe 2 max. And I'm sure there is people who don't have a lot of time, and I understand that. I have people that I know that they work 16-hour shifts sometimes. So I understand that it's not always easy to meal prep, but there is usually about a day a week where you could meal prep. Appa wants you to like and subscribe to this channel. Right, Appa? Appa wants you to meal prep, okay? He understands that cat food is expensive. If we were to just buy the wet food, if that was his lunch, it would get really expensive. So good thing we buy cat food. Not that we don't buy those things for him, but if you take the cat food and the bag, and you can still get a very good bag, like that's a lot cheaper than if we were to buy him wet food every day, 2-3 times a day. Think of that as fast food. If you buy your fast food 2-3 times a day, even once a day, it really starts to add up. I'm not saying don't eat out. I eat out too. My wife and I, we like to eat out. But really we try to be more intentional about it. And, you work, and if you spend $75 to $100, that's like, sometimes that's more than a day's worth of work, sometimes that's less, or half a day's worth of work for some people. And you really start to put that in perspective. If you put that in terms of hours, like, do you really want to work 8 hours? So do you really want to work an extra day per week to pay for your lunches? When you really start to change the thinking, it really doesn't make a lot of sense. And now making the meal preps, I feel more free. I know the ingredients that I put in the meals, and it's healthier for me, because if you look at all the ingredients that fast food have, all the preservatives and added junk and chemicals that's in there, it's really concerning. But if you buy rice by the bulk, or you get chicken, if I buy rice or beans, that's gonna last for weeks, months potentially, depending on how much you buy or how much you're meal prepping, how much your portion sizes are. So that's another benefit of, yes, sometimes when you start meal prepping, you will spend quite a bit on groceries. That is true. But again, once you have those things and they're in your pantry or in your fridge, and you can use them for multiple meals. So we had to buy rice last time, but after, we won't have to buy rice for the next several meals. So I hope that makes more sense. Again, I used to have that mentality. I think I'll speak for myself. A lot of times in my life, I come up with a bunch of reasons as to why I can't do something, like why I can't go to the gym, or why I can't eat better, or why I can't make meal prep. And I understand that mentality, and that I know a lot of people have that mentality. That's kind of how our generation and the generation before us has been wired to think, is that we need to save time by not meal prepping. So we go out to eat fast food, or we don't have time to go to the gym, or we don't have time for this, or we can't do this because of this. Can't start this YouTube channel because of everything else going on in life. But instead of making a bunch of reasons as to why you can't do something, we got to rewire our brains to come up with reasons why we can do something. And for me, a big positive change I've made in my life is making meals at home, or at least lunches at home. And we cook for dinner. My wife cooks for dinner a lot, and I'm very thankful for that. Before my wife, I was working at fast food, and I could eat there, and I could also eat there for my dinner sometimes, or when we were dating, like I could go over to her house because she was nearby, and sometimes her parents made something or she made something, and that's a blessing. So there's also community. You can look at friends too, and maybe there can be ways you can host with others. Sometimes I go down to when I go towards work or something, or if it's a Sunday or on the weekend, I see churches, and I've also been a part of that too with our church, and just giving out food for people. If you're out in the city, on the roads, just please look around, look at all the restaurants and fast food that are around us, and really start to think about, like, why is there such an abundance of fast food and restaurants around us? Because they understand that at least we as Americans are going to spend a lot of money going out to eat, and that we're addicted to it. There's even Brian Johnson, he talks about it. There is literally stuff in our food that is making us addicted to fast food. So just put that in perspective, just something, give yourself to think about. I have a long drive to work, so I know that when I drive to work and when I drive back, I can look at the abundance of fast food that we have, at least here in America. I hope that made sense. Really what it comes down to is you work, and we're working to better ourselves for the future. And I'm in my 20s right now. And whether you're in your teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever it may be, we have to start thinking of how we're going to get ahead of the rat race, essentially. We got to protect our wealth and protect our health. Making food at home, at least meal prepping for lunches, is one of the best ways you can start doing both of those things. So thank you very much. If you see this video, please subscribe, please like it, comment, and yeah, thank you.